Welcome back, everybody. Gonna do a little video real quick. A couple of people were talking about compost, and so I went outside and dug some up out of the pile out in the backyard. Now I make my compost out of just grass clippings. When I mow my backyard, I just sweep it with my mower and blow it all up in a pile on an old concrete pad that was back there, I guess, for like a building or something. We wound up putting a basketball goal in on one end. And I just blow it all up on there, and then I rake it up in a pile, and I leave it. I turn it every now and then. I don't really turn it. I run it over with the lawnmower, move it around a little bit, and then the next time I mow, I blow it up on top of it again, and it's just grass clippings. And grass clippings are like the perfect compost. It composts off so fast because it's like the perfect mixture of greens and browns. So when all you gotta do is just cut it and throw it in a pile and let it compost. So that's what we wound up with is finished compost. And we're gonna feed this to the worms, and they're gonna eat it, and they're gonna love it. They always have. It's got some green in it now from some stuff growing out there on top of it. But guess what? That's extra. That's a little treat for them. So they'll eat it. And our blended food is getting right too. That stuff has worked over into a moldy, nasty mess, and it's perfect. That stuff right there, that's ready. They don't have to wait for that. They can jump on that and get down, and then add it to this compost, and it'll be perfect. Um, I could take the compost, put it in the garden if I wanted to, and I will. I do. I add it in before I till my garden off. I take most of my compost pile and I throw it in the garden and I till it down. But I bring a lot of it in, and that's more worm food for them. So I could do it all, but I let the worms run it, and they take regular compost and turn it into vermicompost and worm castings, and it's like I don't know, at least twice as better than what it was before I started. So anyway, let's do a little quick feeding here. I ain't gonna drag you along. It's been a long day for me. Oh, I don't know. It's 2 or 3 o'clock here. Just finally got to a point where I could burn a video. Work's been crazy, and just been covered up. So yeah, I run two companies, and they keep me pretty busy. And so I try to do this on the side, but see, they've eaten pretty much everything we gave them, and they're good about that. They're real good about that. So yeah. Somebody asked me earlier tonight, what kind of worms are they? I have no idea. They're the ones I bought. Um, some of them are red wigglers because I can find them. They're, when they're younger, they've got the little yellow tip, and they're full blown red wigglers. Some of these worms I have are old worms. They are. They're 4 years, 4.5 years old. They're probably to the prime of their life. It ain't gonna be long. They'll start dying off, and we'll just keep replacing them. But um, as far as I know, I know I did get a mix. I found some blue worms. I finally figured out what a blue worm looked like, and I finally figured out, um, hey, that's a blue worm. When I look at them and stuff, and so it's a mix, and I'm okay with that. I ain't mad at nobody for selling me red wigglers. It wasn't all red wigglers. That's pretty much how a lot of people do it. And we had a conversation on another post. Somebody posted, I think it was AJ, from AJ's Green Topics, had posted about, I think it was his or it might have been mine. I don't even know. Anyway, about worms and the 100%, worms. I think it's Mimi's and the gardening worm lady and the worm and garden. See, I suck at names. I'm telling you. So anyway, a lot of those people have went through and pulled out just their red wigglers, got rid of all the Indian blues and everything else that was mixed into their orders, and over the years have systematically gotten down to 100% red wiggler breed, and that's really cool. I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to sit around and divide worms and all that good stuff. I'm okay with this. I've always heard that a mixed breed actually do you better anyway. So And these things compost like crazy, so I'm almost going to contribute that to the fact that it's a mixed breed anyway. So I'm okay with it. Nothing to panic about, and definitely nothing to worry about. I could care less. They're doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not selling worms, so I'm not. I don't have to worry about claiming whatever breed or anything. I just got worms, and I give them to my friends. I got a buddy of mine I called and checked on his worms, see how they were doing. He said they're doing fine. He transferred them off into a slightly bigger bin, and he's he's letting them run, and that's all you got to do. Just take them, chuck them in a bin, keep them wet, give them a little bit of food, and let them do their thing. I come down here and worry them to death because I got a YouTube channel and I make videos, so I'm all the time coming down here trying to figure out some way that I can um, do something with them to give y'all a little bit more information. You know, we've got, like I said, 20 breeders, bins, and the big bins here, and then the giant bin back yonder. And I don't know, before it's over with, I was like, we're going to do a reset in March. I was like, what are you going to do with all them worms? So, I don't know, I told the wifey, I was like, hey, we might have to run, we might have to run out and buy some more bins, and we'll go from 20, I guess, up to probably, I don't know, 26, 28. I'm not going to double my bins. I'm not going to turn 20 into 40. I could very easily, but I'm not going to. I'm not, it's, I don't know, it's just too much. So, anyway, we'll put some of this slop in here with the mold and the funk and everything they love, like that. Compost on the bottom. So now I don't have to put any bedding in. You see, I just put a little compost in there, and then we'll top it off with a little bit more compost, and we'll let them have at it. Hey, look at there, look at there, look at there, look at that, look. What's that? Now, he should be dead. So, yeah, he should be dead. But we're not gonna leave him in here. I could. What do you think? Leave him in here? Yeah, leave him in here. See what they do to him. What do you think? Anyway, yeah, we'll leave him in here. Because he doesn't look like he's alive anymore, and he shouldn't be. I heat treated all this compost when I brought it in to get rid of the critters. Everybody's worried about bringing in critters into the house. I heat treat all my stuff. I heat treat all my natural bed, and I heat treat everything. I've got 2 wood stoves I heat my house with, and so usually, like, when it gets cold, I'll jam up one of the wood stoves and I'll put it in this turkey pan thing with a lid on it, and I'll slap the lid on it, and I'll fire the wood stove off and go to bed. I'll let it cook off all night long at roughly somewhere around about 300, 350, something like that, and it gets rid of all the little ants and grubs and roly polies, and I get rid of everything. I don't have to. I could probably be okay with them coming in. It probably wouldn't hurt one bit. But I try to get rid of the centipedes. It's always been said that centipedes will eat your baby worms, so I don't want any centipedes. So I just decided just to cook everything off this time. Last time I didn't cook anything off. Last time we had roly polies and everything else, and it still worked fine. Everything was perfectly productive. We didn't have any trouble. I didn't lose a bunch of worms. We wound up with more worms than we needed again. So anyway, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about these worms. I know they'll self-regulate and everything, but I don't know. I need to figure something out about trying to get more people into it. If I can get some more people into the vermicomposting, then I'm perfectly fine with giving everybody 100, 200, 300 worms, whatever it is, to get them started good and let them roll with it. Because that's what I'm about. I just wish we could make a worm that would eat plastic. Everybody's feeding food scraps and cardboard and paper. That stuff will break down naturally anyway. I wish we could come up with a worm that would eat plastic. That'd be awesome, man. We could really get rid of the stuff in the landfills then. So anyway, but that's it. That's the compost pile feeding directly into the bed. And they'll eat it. They love it. I used to feed my other worms. Um, the compost too out of the pile years ago, and they eat it. They love it. No complaints about it. You see how I get rid of the critters? Everybody's worried about critters and bringing it in. Just heat it off. Or let it cook off when it is composting. It will get it rid of everything. And then as soon as it starts to cool, grab it up, bring it on in, and then that way you don't have to worry about anything getting into it. This stuff's been sitting out there all fall, all winter, and the better part of this false, what, third false spring or whatever we're having right now was 34 degrees the other night and 80, what, it's going to be like 86 degrees tomorrow. Yeah. It's awesome to live in North Carolina. You can get like 3 seasons in like 1 week, or at least three, maybe four. Heck, it might snow before March is over with, so we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, nothing complicated, nothing real crazy. I didn't have to have a degree, so that's it. Compost, dig it up, bring it in the house, give it to them. Like I said, we're running the pre garby garb stuff here, and it's getting funky, and that's cool. It's in a bucket. It's got a lid on it. Doesn't make a smell. Only makes a little bit of a smell when I open the lid up, stick this thing in there, scoop it out, bring it over, feed it to the bin. But other than that, I mean, this is awesome too, because like I said, it's already starting to mold, so this doesn't have to sit in the bin and start to mold before the worms can eat on it. So I'm pre-composting the food in the bucket, and then we're getting the completed compost out of the compost pile. And I mean, and somebody said something about your worms are like really big and fat, and what kind are they? And actually, they're just big and fat, happy worms too. So, I see red wigglers all the time, and yeah, you order them and they come in and let little bitty pieces of spaghetti, and they're dehydrated and everything else, and then I don't know, I just feel like they're just fat. I think they're fat because somebody keeps feeding them fattening. So anyway, but I don't know. Like I said, and I don't sweat it. I mean, everybody always asks, and yeah, I wish I knew. And like I said before in another video, I'm that close to just snatching a couple of them out and sending them off and having them classed. I don't think it costs a whole lot, and actually at this point, I really don't even care what it costs. That way, I'd have peace of mind. Plus, I'd have an answer to give somebody. Somebody asked me tonight, "What kind of worms you got?" And I was like, "I really don't know, cause I ordered what I ordered, and I got what I got, and that's gonna happen to you too. I mean, honestly, unless you specify a certain class that you want, and you go to a reputable dealer, then that's the problem. So I think it's Mimi's worms. She's getting them pure reds, and the gardening worm lady. She's doing pure reds. She's working. She's worked like I don't know how long she said it took her, but she took her forever. She's been doing this stuff for like 20 some years, and she's gotten it classed out to a pure red stock. So I mean, as long as you do your research, or if you don't care and you just want to compost, hey, get you a mixed breed, because like I said, I believe the part of my success on composting with these things, eating anything, eating all the time, eating everything up, is between the blending of the food. The pre-composting of the food is going to help even better, but I believe the blending of the food, the natural bedding, and the mixed breed is a combination that has worked out really good for me. I haven't found anything they won't eat. We're going to start pushing their diet to another level. We're going to really tempt them and try them and see what it takes to get them to eat some stuff they're not supposed to eat. And that's cool for me. I like that. I love a challenge. And so I just think that's got a lot to do with it, the mixed breed and the whole, aspect of it. And like I said, my stuff works for me for the temperatures and the humidity that I have here where I live at. It may not work for you where you live at. You may be in a colder climate. You may be in a more humid or less humid. You may be in a hotter. The whole thing always depends on all these different variables. So the best thing to do is like I said before, pick out little things you like, build your own system, and try to make what you got work for you, how you work it at your schedule, at your leisure. See, I got plenty of time to come down here at night after I get off of work and come home, which that's going to change. Aha, that's going to change this year. This year, I think I'm retiring. So once I retire, then I can go like full worm guru nut. So, so yeah, that'll be great. And you know, like I said, just try it. If something's not working, if something's getting complicated, then try to back off a little bit and think about it for a minute and try to figure out, well, how can I make this easier on me? How can I make this not a job? Just like me, I was blending up fruit, fruit, bananas and apples and stuff, and they love that stuff, but they eat it like that. And so I've changed that tactic. I'll put some sweet in there, but I also put some corn and potatoes, a little bit of starchy stuff, and I slowed them down on their eating. And that's working out good for me because now I'm not having to feed every bin twice a week. Now I can probably feed every bin every week or week and a half. And that is great because that's just a little something else I don't have to do. And I got plenty of other bins sitting around here that we can play with. You know, we still got the burrito hiding in the bathtub. We're going to check on that sucker probably next video. And so we'll check on the burrito bathtub feeding deal. And then we'll run through a couple other bins. The cardboard bin seems like it's dragging to me, man. I just really wish that thing would go on and take off. Because I've had cardboard and paper bins before. And I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing because before I used to open the bin up and it would be like totally castings all over the top and everything. And I'm not getting that show on that bin and it's concerning me a little bit. So anyway, but like I said, just relax and chill and have a good time and just adapt. And like I said before, if you get 500 worms, bank you 100 worm bins. And that way you can mess around and try a couple different systems and figure out which one works for you. And if you screw up and kill your worms, you didn't kill but 100 worms instead of 500. And you know, and like I said, figure out what works for you and your schedule and your lifestyle, your food consumption and your patience level. All that, it's all different factors that play into everything. So anyway, like I said, but this is really simple. Grass clippings, and like I said before, if you don't mow your yard, or if you live somewhere, you live in an apartment and they mow the yard, uh, go see where they dump the grass clippings at, or go some through a neighborhood somewhere that bags them up, throws them on the curb, slide by and snatch up a bag or two, throw them in the trunk of your car, take them home. You know, compost them. You can compost in your house. It does not have to be outside. You can get a bin and sling it over in the corner and dump the stuff in the bin. Throw the lid on it. Throw a little bit of water on it. You got to keep it moist. It's got to have a little bit of air. It'll cook off. The stuff will cook off. It's composting on the side of the road when you go pick it up. If you open that bag up, shove your hand down in the middle of that bag of grass clippings, it'll be really hot in the middle, and that's all by nature. And so, you know, get you some dried leaves and scrub them up and get them busted up and broke down. Throw them in a bag somewhere. Set it over there beside it, and you can, you know, I've got trash cans and stuff sitting around here full of leaves and stuff and bins and buckets and compost and um, um, compost from the compost pile, compost from the leaf compost pile. I've got leaves. I just mix everything together and blend it up and make my own bedding, own food, and it works out for me. It might not work for you. I got a whole entire room that I could literally dedicate to this wormery thing going on here, and I just haven't yet. I've got another probably 10 feet of wall space that I could start stacking bins on and stuff like that. I just haven't yet. You hear me say yet, right? So, you know, build it as big as you want to build it. Take it as fast as you want to go. Take it as slow as you need to. And that's the key. Is just always, always, always remember, enjoy it, relax, have a good time, mess around. If you screw up, don't get in the closet and cry about you killed two worms. It's okay. There's a high probability the worms you killed left you more worms behind. You look in here, there's cocoons right there. I mean, if you get them happy for a little bit and screw around and kill them later, as long as they were happy long enough, about a week, and you got 100 worms, and each set of worms laying 2 to 3 cocoons a week, then you've got, and each cocoon has roughly around about 2 worms per cocoon. I see 20 on the internet all the time, about 20 worms per cocoon, and good luck with that one. But as long as you're getting those, you have replacement worms. That'll give you a new batch of worms when that stuff hatches. So you'll be fine. Don't sweat. Stay relaxed. Anybody needs any help, you can more than welcome to contact me on any video, whatever. I don't have an email address on there, I don't think. I might though, actually. But I don't have any other contact info. I'm not going to turn this into a website business thing. I told you before, I'm not monetizing anything. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. So anyway, but like I said, I hope this helps somebody that needs some help and answers any questions. And anybody's thinking about different way to feed them and give them a little something extra. That stuff right there, they love it. Good old compost, good old stuff like that. I've got a mat back here that I'm actually going to put in the bathtub, and I won't leave y'all out. I will add that into the video with the burrito. But I've got a mat back there that has grown up um, roots into the compost. I'm gonna do like Captain Matt. I'm gonna take that sucker and flip it upside down and put the greenery down towards the bin and let them come up and eat the greenery and then get into the mat, eat the compost, eat the roots, everything on that mat. And so I'm gonna do that. That's what he's doing. Wheatgrass, I believe is what it was. He grows these wheatgrass mats in castings or compost, and then he pulls it out of the bin, flips it upside down, and puts it in his gigantic grow bins that he's got. So actually, I'm gonna do that with one of these mats that I pulled out of the compost pile, and so that'll be cool to check that thing out too. So we'll have a burrito on one side, and we'll have a compost mat on the other side. And we'll keep up with those two, and so yeah, it'll be cool. But like I said, just make sure you have fun. That's the main thing. Do not stress over any of this. There's a whole lot, a whole lot more important stuff to stress over than some worms. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope you all had a wonderful week. We're going into the weekend after tomorrow, which will be great. And we'll drop some more videos this weekend. So y'all have a good day. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.